Thank you. Hello. Excuse me. Sorry. My name is Joseph. I live in the HRM area, and I heard something in the presentation that I heard earlier on today about something having to do with red tape. So that's something that I'm really interested in when it comes to not just with the specific type of housing that was being discussed in the presentation, but with housing in general, residential housing. I think that probably one of the most effective ways to make housing more affordable just in general, given the housing shortage and the housing crisis overall, is to probably make such, if zoning reform is a discussion here, to perhaps take the R1 zoning that we have, the single family zoning, and make that mixed use possibly, or, you know, some manner of zoning that just legalizes building more dwelling options than single family, because it seems like a lot of economists seem to all agree with a lot of data and a lot of evidence that changing that zoning code would alleviate a lot of pressures that we're seeing right now when it comes to the market rate of housing skyrocketing so much over the years and the years to come. I was wondering if, this is really more of a question really, what I would like to ask is, how does this council feel about legalizing more dwelling options on single family zone land? You know, mixed use.
Yeah, it's not a question and answer. I'm going to answer your question though. We've done a lot of things in that regard, secondary and backyard suites and things like that, which we've bought in over the last couple of years, have, I think, hit some of the targets that you're talking about. Councillor Cleary, did you have a comment?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I was going to ask, first of all, you said Joseph. We didn't catch your last name. And the second question of clarification was to what the mayor had mentioned. Are you aware that backyard and secondary suites are allowed in all R zones, including R1, across the municipality? So actually, yeah, sure. R1 is really R2 from that perspective.
Sure, yeah, but I have more dwelling options than that in mind. So I have things like condos in mind, and you know, townhouses and triplexes and like any kind of apartment dwelling types in mind. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I think is going to relieve a lot of the pressures we're seeing from the housing crisis. They're just one option of many, of course. I'm not saying it's the only solution. There's never one solution to any social issue in society, but I am aware of that. And to clarify, my last name is Kirby, like the Nintendo character.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kirby. We appreciate that, and I'm sure as you drive around the city, you'll see lots of condos and apartments going up across this municipality right now.
Well, sure. So I would like to see it without the city having to say yes before doing so, though. Just let them build it. As long as they're doing everything to code, I think it's perfectly fine. So
maybe we'll take the Houston planning principles, anything, anywhere. We're not going to do it. But I think your point is well taken. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else who wishes to come forward and speak?